Welcome back. It's the jewel in every amateur journalist toolkit, the internet. With websites, photographs, podcasts and video files just a few mouse strokes away, cyberspace is the best place for citizen journalists to be. Critics complain that the flood of amateur news reporting on the web comes at the expense of traditional journalistic standards. The Listening Post's Robin Armstrong checks out whether citizen journalism websites are actually making the sort of impact on news coverage they claim, or if they're simply elevating opinion and unskilled reporting into journalism.
It's one of the media's best-known trends, and one of the most hotly debated: citizen journalism.
Whatever happens in the world, wherever it happens, there will always be someone with a mobile phone to film it.
Just because you happen to be at an event doesn't make you a journalist.
Citizens can play soccer. We don't talk about citizen soccer players. Citizens do professions, and a journalist is a journalist.
When something of consequence happens to you, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to tell people who you think are interested in it. And I think that's really what journalism is at its rawest form.
In a news-hungry 24-hour global society, perhaps there just aren't enough journalists to cover all the news all the time. Increasingly, amateurs are filling the void. Take the case of the Russian elections.
You can't have journalists in every polling station in Russia during the election, but you can have citizens who play the role just for one day of journalists. And if something happens in the polling station they happen to be in, they can take out their mobile phone and take the photo that will probably maybe change the election, and that will be then taken by all the medias.
So you're seeing stories come out that previously were not really marketable or not really available to the general public, who are being told, which are being told by a variety of points of view.
This baby cost us thousands of dollars when we first bought it, but hey, look what you can do now with a simple handheld.
The ubiquity of mobile phones and digital cameras has empowered millions to record events, and sharing pictures and videos is becoming easier every day.
So they operate in bulletin boards and blogs.
They're netizens, actually, but they work for the government.
Numerous websites have sprung up, and they're looking to build on the potential of ordinary people to report their world.
With Observers, you can connect to a global network that'll give you an inside view on issues that concern you, enabling you to communicate directly with France 24's...
So on the Observers, we're really trying to set up a network of people we trust, of observers all around the world. If I want to report about Pakistan, people in Pakistan know better the country than me. So I have to take into account what they say. I have to listen to them.
Sites like Now Public and others, Oh My News being another great example, are platforms that allow people who have very little experience in producing news to very quickly and easily get their story told. And I think that's a great development. I think that it's providing people with an ability to kind of connect with people across the globe, across a variety of different interests and groups who previously wouldn't have had a chance to have a conversation, who are now able to have that kind of conversation.
This is what the nerdfighters have taught me in the last 15 months. They may not have high-speed internet connections, but they're still part of us.
So, esta tomou a baixa?
The value of user-generated content is undeniable, and even established news outlets are trying to harness the power of the layman.
iReport.com is a website that is currently in its beta stage, in which CNN has essentially provided the tools and the vehicle for people to upload stories that are important to them.
We believe that you YouTubers out there are changing the world of journalism right now as I speak. We want to bring your news reports, your stories, your work into the spotlight.
All right, folks, the road edition of my report. This time we're headed to the NO.
But the phenomenon of citizen journalism has its critics. The elevation of the man on the street may be a cheap and innovative exercise, but does the resulting news coverage meet journalistic standards?
The crowd is going crazy. Barack just made his announcement and he's going to be president of the USA. Can you believe it?
I think the mainstream media's motivation is firstly to sound very fashionable and sexy, and secondly to get free content. Mainstream media, if they want to use journalists, they should employ them and pay them. They shouldn't be getting people just to give their content for free.
I think they're trying to incorporate many different points of view into the stories they're telling, and I think they're trying to engage with their users in a deeper way and build relationships with the news-consuming public.
The weather has just changed from light, fluffy snow to this icy, rainy, wintry mix. The airports are canceling flights, but I'm having fun because I have the day off of work.
So I think that they have good, strong business goals in mind, but I think they also want to tell better stories from the perspective of people who are there on the ground.
What's changed is the accessibility. And accessibility does not convey equality. There'll always be a need for professional journalists because there's always a need for impartiality, for quality, and for trained people who know what they're doing.
Hurricane Katrina's beginning to wrap in some dry air, so we're a little bit concerned. These trees are coming down any second.
Whatever its faults, the citizen journalism genie is out of the bottle. And it only takes one click to hear what they have to say.
This is Jeremy Goldcorn reporting for Danwei TV from Nanluoguxiang, Hutong.
More global village voices now on citizen journalism, the internet and reporting standards.
There are bloggers who end up committing acts of journalism at all sorts of different times. There's a wonderful story of a Thai blogger who called herself Gnarl Kitty, who generally blogged about the shoes that she wanted to buy and about her mobile phone. But during a military coup in Thailand, she suddenly became a very, very good correspondent, talking about a lot of political issues and actually debunking some mainstream media stories.
I think right now we are going through a kind of phase where citizen journalism is taken off and it's kind of overwhelming the traditional media, partly because it is an interesting resource and partly because it's very politically fashionable. But I do think that in 3 or 4 years' time, as we become more used to the phenomenon, I think we will learn to discriminate between those sites that are giving us real valuable content and those that are just part of the background noise that the internet is so famous for.
And finally, summer's here, and it's all about sandy beaches and sunglasses. For those of you in YouTube land, though, summer fun is sunglasses, a quirky idea, and some snazzy video editing. Here's our Internet Video of the Week, brought to you by a viral production team called Never Hide Films. We'll see you next time at The Listening Post.
Nice.
You okay? Yeah. Dude, that was a great catch. Did you get that?
Got it.